Good afternoon, everybody. Right, let's go. Let's do some more stuff. So, what were we doing the other day? We were doing GUI for the phase overviews. What does it look like? Let's run it. Doodly-doo-doo-doo, and here we go. Here's what it looks like. That's what we've got now. The other day, we were just showing like a sort of thing in the middle which reacted depending on which phase you clicked, right? And it changed to it, and we used Pile, and we submitted some pull requests to improve the Pile API and so on. And this morning I added the little GUI thing to that, and where it displays all the rest of it, we've got like a little grid, and we've got a properties thing, and it shows how many things are in it. And then we need to pick something else to do. Don't know what it's going to be yet. So what I was just quickly doing was referring back to some project files that we'd previously created. If we go back and have a look at our test, right, for the CLI, in these tests, here we go. Not that one, this one. In these tests, we've got the list of things that the tests test. We have this sequence. So we create a job, we add a PCB, we add variants, and we do all this to it, right? And it was months ago that we did this, and I've totally forgotten how the whole thing works now because I've been too busy evaluating GUI libraries, right? But yeah, so I've got to refresh my memory on this before I can work out what to actually do next. So when we've got a phase, oh yeah, and let's bring up the Krita little diagram thing as well. Here we go. When we've got a phase, we create a phase for each process. So the process would be like manually place, manual or automated, for instance. And each process can have multiple phases, such as loading the PCBs in the machine, placing the components, reflowing the components, optical inspection, this kind of thing, right? Yeah. So, yeah. And one of the things that we do as part of the phases is we assign the placements to the phase and add the placements part to the phase's loadout. So what I was thinking, in the GUI, it would be nice to show which placements have been assigned to the phase. So let's see if we can make that happen. Okay. So this is how it works at the moment with the CLI, right? So the command that it uses is these commands, these arguments. The arguments for the command that it uses are these. So it runs the planner CLI, which, if you remember, sort of looks like this kind of thing. You go planner CLI, you give it the project, and you tell it where the files are, and you give it the thing to do. Like that, right? So one of the commands that we've got is this one. And if you remember, we've got this assign placements. We've got the help thing for this. Assign placements to phase. And the help for this looked like this. We've got a test for that. Right? And that needs a phase and placements. Right? So it's got the phase, which you're adding things to, and then the placements, which is yeah. So, and at some point, this gets recorded. And then And then what we've got is the expected result here. So expected project content is supposed to be this kind of stuff, right? And here's the placements, right? So we say we want to add, we assign in these placements to the phase. So there should be a phase defined. And we haven't updated this with placements thing to be less sucky yet. It's still taking the stupid closure thing, right? Which we definitely don't like now that we come back to it a few months later, because we're like, what the hell is all these things? Yeah, I need to come back and fix that. So what we're interested in is panel 1, unit 1, refdes that starts with an R, right? So these ones should have a phase assigned, which is this one and this one. And the other ones, like J1, don't have a phase assigned to them. Right? So for our GUI, we should be able to iterate over some placements to find the ones that have got the phase assigned to it and then display them in a list. Sure. Okay. Let's refresh our memory by looking at the project. Right, because it all starts with a project. So we've got unit assignments, and then we've got placements and placement state. Got a phase assigned to them, right? So if we iterate over the phase, the placement states, over the placements, to get the placement states, we can display information about placement. Okay, let's make it happen. Right. Okay, where's it going to go? So let's look at our GUI for a moment. And we've got to decide how it might be useful to the user to look at it and then make changes to it by adding some and so on, right? So if we're looking at top, we've got the properties. Great, fine. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to keep the phase properties like in a little thing and then to the right of it have the placements? Probably. Because what we could do in the future, we can't do it now because we don't have the technology to do it. Which is this phase properties thing, for instance, could sort of like sit down here, you know, or on another sidebar on the right. Maybe you want to be able to collapse it, but for the moment, it's stuck in the middle in the content pane. Which I suppose is fine, but I don't know. How about we put it underneath it for now? Because what we could do is we could have a properties panel, right? Maybe on the right hand side. Which shows properties about the thing that you've got selected. Whatever that thing is. Interestingly, my EDA tool of choice works in the same way. And many other tools do that as well. Like if you're using Node-RED, for instance, you click on a node, you see the properties somewhere. If you're in Unity, you click on something in the state machine editing, you can see all the properties for it, and so on. Loads of applications work in the same kind of way. So maybe we should move the properties somewhere else. But for now, let's put the list below it. Okay. So we've got a phase overview. Everything's fine. This is going to present a little bit of a problem. Yeah, okay, because our pile, which is what we're using at the moment, now needs to have two things in it, which will be built by two different views, right? Okay. So if you remember, when you click on something in the project Explorer, it sends a message. Yeah, where's the Project Explorer gone? Oh, I can't find all the things. There's too many things. I'm going mad. Code. I need to extract things. More places to look for more things, perhaps. Project Explorer. Oh yeah, this is our Project Explorer. Here it is now. Yes. Probably should like extract this update tree to like explorer.rs or something and then move it there. But anyway, if you remember the way it works, it gives you a path with a thing, and then that path is handled by this navigate, right? And it goes, if it starts with project phases, then get the phase. Oh, we've actually done that. Where doesn't it happen here? Okay, we can get rid of that. It says have a task, and this is the message you emit, right? But we want to make it do two things. We want to go get the phase overview, and then also get the other thing, which we haven't decided what it is yet. The list of placements for the phase, right? So we've got this task done thing, right? But we could do task batch instead. Like this, where we have a vector of tasks, right? And then we just go task batch with the tasks in it. So we're going to do that. So we want to do that one for sure. Stuff. So now we need a vector of tasks. Let me refresh my memory. Yeah, that's it. I don't think we need to care about it. We can just... Oops, daisy. What happened there? I pasted it twice accidentally. I'll keep going to the wrong file. Yeah, okay. So I suppose we can just go vec and then... Oh dear, what happened there? Get the right bracket. There we go. Right, are we getting there now? So we're going to do that. And this, I suppose. And instead of requesting the project the phase overview, we're going to go phase placements, perhaps. Like so. Sure. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Right. So now we have to add in the handler for the request view. We've got update view, not that one. Request view, this one. So now we need another one. Phase placements, right? Keep typing that in wrong. And when we receive that request, we need to emit an event for the app core, which I suppose is phase placements view, right? And it's going to take the same thing. Sure. So we're going to go to this. And make one of these. Great. Then we're going to have to come back and make that actually do something. But what we're going to need to do first is go into the update view and do something about that. Somewhere here. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. Right, so this, we need to create the view thing. Where is it? The list of views that you can have. Here, this. Placements list. I mean, there's placements and there's phase placements. Are they the same? No. No. I think they're going to be different. So we need to create a phase placement structure. Let's put it next to this one. And it's going to have some stuff in it, which is probably going to be, I don't know. What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Yeah. It's definitely going to have some placements in it. But okay. We might want something else other than placement. We might want like something else. The reason I'm thinking that is because in our planner, in the project rather, we've got this placement state, and we're going to want to know about the status and all this kind of thing, right? I'm just wondering whether we should use this directly here or not. Let's use this directly here and see if we can get ourselves in the quagmire. You see, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a good idea to do that because it's going to couple the application to the GUI and the CLI. Whereas if you had an intermediate object that was built from the core object, then you wouldn't do that. But I'm just going to go with keep it simple to start with. Right. I might come back and go, oh, I wish I'd done that earlier. But you know, we're gonna go with it. Yes. I'm not really sure about doing that like that, you see. I'm just not really sure about it. Let me look at placement state. Serializable and all the rest of it, right? So let's just go with it. Let's go with it for now. Oops. Partial EQ. Placement state's not got partial EQ. Does it need it? Let's just not derive partial. You see, because it's in this view thing, and I think you need to. We might have to come back and look at that. Okay. So we're going to try and create phase placements. Okay. Okay, back to where we were. Where were we? Yeah, you see, this thing's got partial EQ on it. And you need partial EQ on the views because the views need partial EQ. Yeah, see, this is the thing, you see. If your state doesn't have partial EQ on it, then you could copy the bits of it that you're interested in to something that did implement partial. Let's just put partial EQ on it. I mean, I don't think it's going to be hideous on this because these should be okay. Reference got partial EQ. Placement status got partial EQ. I mean, I should have errors in my ID if they didn't. Yeah, we're okay there. Okay, we're gonna run with it. So we added a view called phase placements. Right. So that means, what does it mean? That means at some point, it means that the core is going to emit some event, which is going to be like, here's the message to emit when you receive this view. Where was that done? Let's refresh our memories. It was done here. I think this app core should be moved to project at this point because it's not really app core. It's sort of like related to the project, but I'm still not sure. Okay. Let's go back to the app. Oh, so many moving parts with this. It's nuts. Right, and this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to do something like this. Okay. So we're going to go event request. What is it? Phase placements view, that one with a phase reference. And then we're going to do this. So it's not a project tree, it's phase placements. Phase placements, right? And we do the same thing as we did on the last stream, where we just return something that's going to work every time we request it for now. Right. We just give it an empty list for now. It's fine. There's nothing there. Everything's fine. And then at some point we need to finish this off. To do, implement this. Right, but we come back to that. We're interested in getting the vertical slice again. So now we've got this phase placements in the project view, and I guess something needs to handle this. I can't remember how it goes from a view capability to the thing. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I remember it. It goes update view, and then this has a match on it. There we go. Right. So this one is now going to have project view, phase placements with some phase placements. And then we can update a view. Okay, we're getting there. And we're going to say project action none. We're not going to do anything else afterwards. Right. Is that enough to actually run it yet? No. Oh, so we've got, oh, I see. Okay. Sure. Maybe we don't need that then. Let's just run it. It's kind of weird. Okay, so now we're going to look and see if both of those two tasks get emitted and we receive them and it shows us stuff. But first, we kind of want to dump it out. Otherwise, we won't know that we've got there. Phase placements. Right? Otherwise, how will we know it worked? Okay. So, we clicked it. Let's have a look at the log. What happened? Do we get phase placements? Look, we got phase placements. It worked. It emitted 2 tasks and stuff happened. Amazing! So by clicking on something in the tree, we make the view do 2 updates separately. One after the other. Yeah. There it is. Look, there's the first request, and there's the second request. And then we get the phase overview back and the phase placements back. Magic. All right, that's good. Progress has been made. Let's do a work in progress commit. Show phase placements. Work in progress 1. Okay. So now that we've got phase placements, we've got to work out how to get them from their structure onto the screen. So the way we did this with the previous view was that we find the pile for the view, and if it's not there, make it. And if it is there, update it. So we've got this phase overview state thing, right? So this phase overview state has got a dynamic phase overview, which is fine, right? But now what it can have as well, I think. No. I was going to say it has another property in here, but I don't think it does. Oh, no, it does. It does. It does. Yeah. So it's going to have the placements. And then what? Phase placements. But is this phase overview is too many files? Yeah. I think that's what we need. Might be wrong. So it tries to get the phase overview widget, and if it's not there, then it creates the phase overview widget. Okay. Okay, this is where we need to change it. It's fine. We've got to fix this up. So we need a dynamic placements, I think. Did I call it placements in here? Yeah. Now, this is a bit of a problem. Yeah. Because we haven't received any placements yet. We're in a phase overview handler, so we need to sort of move this around. So what is this? What should this be? Should this be... yeah, I can see where this is going. What? Option? I suppose. Then we can initialize it somewhere else first. And ooh, who does the initializing of the thing? Oh no, oh dear. Okay. Oh dear, this is going to be pain. Going to be pain. We're going to say this is going to be Tom here. And this, of course, needs to be none at this point, right? Because we don't have it. So we'll get rid of this. You see, but the widget that gets returned needs to be a widget that contains two widgets now, and not the widget to the phase overview. Right? This thing by itself is fine, but we need to make something else happen. So let's pull that out. Widgets. And go let widget is and space colored. No, well, I don't know. Let's just say space default. And then what? Into rows? Yeah. Oh, I don't know why it's done that. Make widget. Right, and that's what we put on here. Um, we're going to need switches, aren't we? Or are we? What on earth is going on outside my house? It's a ginormous lorry doing something outside my house. Um, and I'm wondering whether my moped is in the way. It looks all right at the moment, but I'm keeping my eye on these people. It's like I might take a quick photo of the side of the lorry so I know who to contact in case there's problems. Might have to pop out, move it. All right, got their number. Hopefully, it's written on the side of their truck. Okay, right, where were we? You know this. Okay. What we need to do is move some of this code. Hold on. Yeah. We don't know the phase. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Feels like I need to create some widget that can switch between a space and an actual widget. But we don't have the. What do I put in it? Um. I don't really want to use a switcher. I'm trying to think of what we can use in order to make this happen. Hmm. Should we just remove something from the pile and then add something else back to it that's different instead? Well, I don't know. Because we've got this, we can push to a pile, but now if you remember, we had that problem with the pile widget the other day of things being dropped. So what we could do. No, I don't know what to do. handle. Do we recreate the phase overview state? That's what I'm trying to work out. Yeah, I'm wondering whether the option should be in here. That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm thinking we should do. I'm gonna go with this, and we're gonna see what happens. We might get it might go all pear-shaped. Make phase overview widget. I mean, yeah, it's true. Oh no. Oh, I see. This is it's going to get painful doing this because. Oh dear. Because now this is going to be an option here. Which means every time you try and get a value out of it, you're going to have to bap about. No, I don't like it that way around. I'm not sure that's the right thing to do there. I'm going to put it back as it was. Not sure. You know that Office Space movie. That was a good one. That was where he gets not sure accidentally tattooed to his arm. Not sure. No, it wasn't Office Space, was it? It's Idiocracy. I'm getting my movies mixed up. They're by the same guy though. Idiocracy. What a great movie. What a great movie. So we could do that. Not as. Yeah, that's what we want, isn't it? As ref and then unwrap it. Yeah. But still don't know what we're going to do for this other bit. So this is going to make a properties thing, which can be updated, but we need another thing, which at some point later needs to be updated. And then, what if we've receive the phase placements without first receiving the phase overview, because it's going to all be pear-shaped. Replace with some phase overview. No, phase overview. Oh no. Oh no, wait, hold on. This is an option which has replace on it. Oh, this is fun. Look, replace. What? No. What on earth am I doing here? There's too many things going on. Overview is one of these, and we're trying to update the thing in here. Yeah, I see how this is a problem now. Someone's at my door. Apologies. We'll be right back. Hey, buddy. I've got a box. All right, where were we? We were trying to do stuff. If we've got one of them, then we need to update it. That's it. Is that right? Is that what we did? Yeah. Oh, what did we do? Overview. What did I have here before? We had state, overview, replace. Oh. Yeah. Duh. Yeah. Okay, fine. But if there isn't one, we've got a problem. To do. We are going to get this at some point. We are going to run into this issue. This will only work if both of those requests are issued in the same order and then they come back in the same order. If the face placements is requested without the view being requested first, it ain't going to work. We need to work it out. But first, we need to work out how to get everything working to start with, and then deal with the unordered stuff after that, probably. Okay. So I'm still unsure as to what to do in here. Okay, so let's see if we can work this out. So we've basically got the same problem down here, is that if we receive this view, we need to go to the state for the pile and update it, and if we've got it, then we need to show it, right? And then this is where we why did it do that? No IDE. Update date. And if we do have it, then we want all this, right? And then we're supposed to return handle so that we can show it. Here, and then say none, right? So that's sort of the skeleton of what we need to do, but we've got this phase placements. So we're not doing the overview. We're matching on state dot placements this time. We'll replace it with that. Phase. It's not really phase overview widgets anymore, or is it? I guess it's now a phase widget because it's going to contain multiple things, right? Let's do that. So we receive either a phase overview or a list of phase placements. So we need to futz about and update stuff. But we don't have a reference here. Phase placements. But we are going to need it. Phase placements. So let's go back to phase placements and add in the reference. Because you can receive some phase placements for any phase, right? Right. Oh. Because we need to use this phase reference here. Yeah. So now we can get the phase widget state from the hash map. Yeah. And then we can somehow do something with the pile. I don't know what yet, though. Let's just see if things compile. They do. So, I mean, what are we going to do here, right? So, Both of these bits need to like do the stuff. This is really create the state, and this is update state. Oh, update sort of partial state. Yeah, this is. So this is where we need to write our bit of code because that's what we're going to be in, right? That's the bit that we're going to need to handle. So when we get here, what we're going to have is a state that contains all of this. Here's the state that we put in it, and this is our state that we've got. And we're going to have placements, and this placements is going to be none. So we need to replace it with something else. So let's do that bit first. Let's go state dot placement is what? Some done placements. And it's going to complain about this. Cannot assign a field to mutable because state is. Yeah, this needs to be get mutt, then I suppose. And now that goes away. Fine. So now we need to create done placements. And this is going to be a dynamic new of face placements. Yeah, like that. Right. Sure. So we've got that, but we've not done anything with the widgets. Right? The widgets. We've got a widget handle. So what should we do here? I have a feeling that if we extract this bit of code to a method and then have everything call it and have it take the things and then behave differently depending on which options it's got, that might be the right thing to do. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be fun. So we've got a handle here, right? And we've got our state. So if we say state dot handle is handle.clone like this, right? What's going to happen to the widget that's currently in the pile when we do this? It should remove it from the pile and then use our newly created one, right? So let's just go, let's do something stupid like this. Old stuff. No, I don't want to do that. Right, we're just going to replace the widget and see what happens. And I want to see if drop gets called on the old one. So this pile push thing, right, somewhere down the bottom here, it's got this drop called. What happens? Let's see. Let's see. I thought I removed that breakpoint. Yeah, we're just going to say go again. And then... yeah, so we go top. So, it is being called. Now, the question is, what does the log contain? So, it got the phase overview, and therefore it must have created a widget, right? And then it's got the phase placements, and drop is being called at the right place, which means the old widget is going to be removed, and our new widget is going to be put there instead. Let's see if that actually happens. Well, we've got a panic. I wasn't expecting that. Come on. Why? I wasn't expecting a panic. Why? Oh, wait. Not yet implemented. Okay. Oops. Too done. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's check the log. Let's do that again. That was funny. I bet some of you saw me do that. Saw that to do there in it before I ran it. And you were just waiting to see my reaction. Ugh, how dare you. Right, so we've got old stuff, new stuff. That's what we wanted to see. This is good. I mean, it is and it's not. Now, sure, it might be expensive to run this method twice. And it's an optimization to make it not do it twice. So let's just go with making it do it twice, knowing that it sucks. But it might be better than the alternative, which is to use a switcher, which means the active tree of widgets is going to be bigger forever, as opposed to temporarily having some widgets be created and then dropped. But okay, sure. So yeah, okay. So now comes the fun bit. Yeah. Okay, so let's say where do we put it? Where do we put it? Where do we put it? I think we've got this widget state. We can't create one of these until we've got the handle, and these things are used together, and then this gets created, and then state gets inserted. We're gonna update it. Um, I'm trying to think of a way to organize this code. Do we want something that we can just update at any given time and handle gets recreated, and you can create a phase widget state which has an update method on it which updates itself internally and sets its handle? Yeah, oh dearie me. Should I be using a different widget here? I guess is another. I mean, can we like use a list widget instead? Is that sort of what we're doing at this point? I don't know. Let's have a look at the list widget for a minute. Let me look at this list style. Is there a none? Yeah. Well, then can you arbitrarily add things to the list? Or do you need? Yeah, don't think the list is the right thing. Yeah. Kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Like, loads of the things that you could be using, which you could potentially want to add things to at a later date, right? Don't seem to be programmed with this in mind. So if you've got a list and you want to add an item to it after you've created the list, you've got a grid, you want to add a row to it or a column to it after you've created it. Do you have to recreate the entire grid first with a different size? Just seems a bit meh. Stack and all the rest of it. I'm just not sure about these reactive UIs, you know. I'm still not. After 3 months of fapping about with them, I still don't know that reactive GUIs are any better to actually work with on a daily basis than the older way of doing UIs. Okay. Not list then. Fine. Moving on. So I've got this bit of code basically, which is what I'm hesitant about. Let's just wrap this in a function. Let's just do it in line here for a moment. Fun update stuff. And it's going to give us back a widget instance. Right. This is what's going to go inside it. And we're going to go yeah. And we're going to match on done overview and done placements. And yes, I'm sure there's a better way of doing this. And if it's some overview, well, should we bother doing that? No, we don't need to bother doing that. Let's get rid of that. We're just doing one at a time. First thing, I guess it's overview. And we're going to match on done overview, which we haven't passed into this thing yet, but we will do, don't worry. And if we've got that, then we call this with that. Right? Probably. If we don't, then we get space default. Right. And we're going to do the same for the other one. Which is going to be the placements. Make phase placements widget. Okay, and it's going to do that. And then we're going to have two widgets into which, or rather, which we can put into rows. Right? Right. We need to pass these in. And we decided that these were a reference to an option of dynamic something. I don't remember what the names of these things were. This is the same, right? So we don't need that ampersand there anymore because it's already a reference as we're passing it in. And we were putting them in this object, and this tells us what they are. So it's phase overview and phase placements. Phase overview and phase placements. Okay. Okay. Now we don't have this method, so we're going to make it. And we're going to put it underneath this. And it's going to give us the same stuff back as this. And then we're just going to go placement here. Right. But it needs to take something, which is done placement, which is a reference? Yeah. To phase placements, right? Cool. Okay, and we're going to get a warning until we actually use it. Everything's fine. Right. And this has got confused because because this has got a different match arm, which is instance. Okay. Do we do a make widget here as well? Yeah, we do. Yes. Even though the last thing in it was called make widget. Right, so now we've got two widget instances into which we can put in a stack, which is fine. And now we can say update stuff, right? Right, and then these need to be references. And that might compile. Okay. So we've got this update stuff, which does that. So let's extract that and just stick it down here for now. Okay. So now we've got I suppose this should just be widget, really, because we put those in it. So let's, and now let's do those same things here and delete that. And then this one, I suppose, yeah, I suppose this one should now take state.placements and state.overview, because these are the options, right? And that'll be fine. Okay, good. So now when we run it, we expect it to recreate the overview twice and then add the other thing beneath it, the placements placeholder widget thing. Look at this. Placements. That's where the placements are going to go. Yes. Okay, this is good. Okay. But Houston, we have a problem. We've got this widgets. I made this thing the other day, which is a bit like the sidebar, but not. And it's expanding vertically. But I'm not sure whether we should do this. And I'm not sure whether we should do this either. I think it might be up to the caller to decide whether they want to expand this thing or not. So that's what we're going to say. Caller decides. Okay, so we were using this method. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We were using this method here. When we create the phase overview widget. So we do want to expand it horizontally, but not vertically. Right. So now it shouldn't take up all the space. Well, I wasn't really expecting that. I have an idea of what's going on, but this has got an expand vertically in it as well. Doorbell again. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I've got a packet. All right. Why? Let's just wrap it in a container and see what's going on with that. I'm sure it's stuff to do with the vertical scroller. You see, I want to conditionally decide. Yeah. I was thinking about this yesterday, right? The Fluent API that is used by Cushy doesn't lend itself well to conditional code. Because you want a properties thing and you want to say expandable, right? But the properties implementation needs to decide which elements need to have the expand things on. Okay. But it's hard to actually make it do that. Let's just for example, right? How can we make this work? You know, say we went, self.expand vertically or whatever, it's there. But now we've got a container. So I suppose we have to go if, I don't know, let scrollable content is if band vertically, then scrollable content dot band vertically, otherwise scrollable content. And then do the thing that we were going to do afterwards. Oops. How much aliasing do you want, sir? Would you like 3 aliasing? Oh, yes, I would, sir. Now, the problem now is that these two match arms don't return the same thing anymore, because this is returning an expand and the other one is not. So what do we have to do? Do we have to go make widget here and make widget here? But what if we wanted to do something else conditionally? I don't like it. What? Properties widget. Great, and then now what do we do? Because there's nothing else to do after this. So in one case we've got an expand or something else, and then can you do that here? No, you see, you can't. I mean, now I'm having to change my API to make it happen. Widget instance. You know, don't really like it. Is there a better way of doing that? To use the non-fluent API? Where you go expand what? New? But then it creates it with a weighted thing, and then you have to optionally futz around with yourself. You see, just don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, are we calling make widget unnecessarily somewhere now as well? Okay, well, at least we got to where we needed to get to. Right. Let's fix up this properties thing. Right. Let's make it false. Auto completion tastic, that was. Yeah. This JetBrains thing's pretty good, isn't it, now? 2025. It does it all for you. All right, cool. So I suppose we want to. So it's not expanded by default. So we're not calling this method, and everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. So it should still work, right? There we go. Very good. Now what? Well, yeah. Okay, let's do a commit. Yeah, I was thinking about doing this as a separate commit, but honestly, work in progress 2. Off you go. Okay. Okie diddly dokley. Right then. So we've got a way for things to. Okay, right. So let's go back to where all the to-dos are, because there was a lot of them still, weren't there? Right. So now let's handle the other two edge cases, which was this one and this one. Right. So this one basically went make the stuff and do all this again. So basically this. It needed to do that. Sure. Right. But before that, it needed to do the equivalent of this, but for the overview. Oh dear. That one. Come on, IDE, keep up. Thank you. Right. And it needs to do get mup. It needs to mutate it in some cases now. Right. So that's the updated partial state there. Now we need to deal with this case, which is basically the same as all this. And then once we've made it work, we'll stand back and look at it and go, oh my god, what a monster, and refactor it. So this is going to be phase. So we extract the phase from the placements that are received. And then this one's going to be the none. And this one's going to be the sum. But it's not going to be phase overview. It's going to be phase placements. And then the rest of it's going to be the same. I don't think we need these comments here yet. Right. So now if the message is received in any order, it should still work. And we're going to make sure that is true. So firstly, we're going to run it as it was. Right? And it's fine. Then what we're going to do is where we use that batch thing. right? We're going to reorder these so that we ask for the phase placements and then the phase overview. And that will reverse the processing order, which means that both of the other two edge cases, the other two to-dos that we just filled in, will now get executed. So does it work? That's the question. So the idea now is it's going to create the placements widget first with nothing above it. Yeah. And then it's going to create placements widgets and the other widget. And it does appear to work, but let's check the log. So did they come in the order that we expect them to? So phase placements first, phase overview second. Yes. Yes, it did. Oh. What did I press then? Huh? Oh dear, I'm pressing the wrong keys. Oh no. That's what I'm supposed to be pressing. See, when you switch from one IDE to another, unlearning keyboard shortcuts can be a bit of a faff. Many years of using Eclipse. Multi-line move. Okay. And this isn't really a to-do anymore. We are actually technically doing this. Yeah. So, we basically fixed these to-dos, right? Okay. Do a commit. Right, let's try to make it not suck so much. It's a bit, it doesn't even fit on my screen. Oh my god. Right, so what we've got to try and do is deduplicate all this duplicated code. Okay, hold on a second. I have a thought. Let's do this. So we've got this phase thing here. We've got the phase. It doesn't really care about it. I'm going to pull this up here. Okay, and do the same thing with this one. And then what I'm going to do is copy that to the clipboard. And then compare this. And we're going to have a look. So that's the level of duplication that we've currently got between these two handlers, which seems like quite a lot. But they're very, 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 very similar. So we've got, these two bits are being different. We've got some white space changes. Let's ignore the white space. Ignore white space. There we go. And yeah, I can see a way for some of this to be. This match statement here is concerning me. I have an idea though. We could yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. Bring that back in again and get rid of that. Now, I could refactor this, or I could not. See, because what happens if we want to move those phase placements into some other widgets that's, you know, like a docking thing like I mentioned earlier, then all that work would be for nothing. But maybe we should do that instead. Let me think about this. Are there any other views which we're going to want to request? Which we want to put into the same content pane. That's what I'm thinking. Because if there is, then we should refactor it. If there isn't, then maybe we shouldn't. I haven't created the views yet, so I don't know what they are. Let's look at the project. Phase rather. Editing things, loadout sources. I'm just imagining how this is going to work. So if you've got like some properties thing on the right hand side, then we could interact with the process, interact with the loadout source and the PCB side from the properties panel, right? And you would update the properties panel again. The placement orderings. Yeah, but I suppose the placement orderings could also be in the properties, really. Yeah, because we've got this phase overview. We've got Let's look at this app again. See, here we're duplicating things to copy into it, but I didn't copy the loadout orderings into it. So maybe there's going to be a loadout orderings view. Yeah, loadout orderings, maybe. Let me look at this placement sorting thing because I forget what these are. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to this for a moment and just look at this. Okay. Let's try something. Let's go update state and pass it. Yeah. Oh, I want that. We're going to self to update state though. We're going to try this. See what happens. It's not really update state. What is this? This is update. But this is like the phase. Let's try this. Let's try this. Um, phase reference. And then the other thing was going to be the other view that we wanted. What was it called? It was the phase placements. That was it. But not like that. Okay. So then let's move this a little bit closer. So I don't have to scroll as far while I'm doing it. And then let's just take all of this for now. And put it in here. Mutable cell. Right. But we're going to get the phase by using this. It's going to be... I want to call this phase reference. Like this. Right. Phase overview. So it doesn't want this. We kind of want to map it into one, but not really. I suppose we could fix this update thing. What's it going to take instead? Let's have a look. Let's think about this. Update stuff. Well. So. What if we did the creation of the dynamics? No. No, we don't want to create it there. Maybe we want to map it. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go phase overview dot map it, and then return a new it instead if it's some, and then we can do the same thing, I suppose, with the other one, right? That should probably work. Right. Okay. Yeah. And then I suppose we just do the same sort of thing down here as well, maybe? Do we do that? Yeah, we're inside this match thing here. Okay, let's not do that. Let's pull this out instead. Pop that there. We already have this here, don't we? It's these placements. Yeah, it's these two lines. And these lines, I think. And then we've got... I'm going to ignore the fact that these are red for the moment. But in both cases, you need to update stuff. And say replacing the handle causes the old pile instance to be removed from the pile. Replacing. Okay, let's deal with the red stuff that's here. So everything else in here we've dealt with, right? So we can delete all this. Mostly. Oh, we might have a problem here. Yeah, hold on. We might have a problem there. So what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be creating a new one if it exists. But if it doesn't exist, we're still setting it. And then the updating stuff. We might be okay. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure whether this is right. It must be because yeah, no, that this bit is okay. This is where we're doing the assignment of creating the actual state. That's okay. Right. So I suppose it's a little bit trickier, isn't it? What have we got to do? We've got to create a new dynamic. Because otherwise it's going to be none. Uh, do we just do the map thing here? Do we just go phase? Yeah, I think we do. We just do the same map thing here. I think, is that right? Because this is an option dynamic phase overview. Which is what this is going to give us. Yeah. But this one's a bit trickier. So if there was someone, you haven't got a new one come in, then you should what? Do nothing? Yeah. So here, this is a bit different. Oh, do we? Is this one of these cases where we use inspect? It is, isn't it? Oh, what happened there? Phase overview. So if we've got one, then we use it. Yeah, but then what is this? Is that what we want? Does that look right? Let's just compile it and hopefully there's only 2 errors. Yeah, I think that's what we want. So we do the same thing here. So this is not phase overview, phase placements, and then map that it. Then we do the inspect thing like we did before. What's happening? Wait, what? Brain hurts. Yeah, that's right. Oh, we need to press the wrong key there. We need a bracket and a semicolon and a reference. How about now? Can't move out of a shared reference. Yeah. Might not be inspect that we want here. Okay, we're going to try this a different way. Can we do this? Phase overview. We can make these mutable. We can steal the content of those. It's fine. It's, yeah. Okay. That might work. I don't know if anyone knows of a better way of doing this. Let me know. Because I'm still learning the Rust API and it's like using options and dealing with the value that the option contains and into, and yeah. Is it just, are we supposed to go like what, into inner or something like this? Is there a, you know, it's like, it does feel like that's the most correct one for me, but I don't know. Okay. Deal with the warnings. I think it might work. Who thinks it works? And we're going to do that same thing where we run the messages in the other order as well. And this is where we want some tests, but you know, it works. Right, and when you click it again, it displays the same thing again. Because the state's already there. It does appear to work. Let's reorder those messages. What was it? It was in the where we did the tasks, where we were batching things, wasn't it? Swap them over. Yeah. Happy days. It works. Okay, so our view processing is basically like update the phase state, and it passes either the one thing and nothing, or the nothing and the one thing. And then all the duplicated code has now got moved to here. Cool. Doesn't entirely suck. I think it sucks less. Redundant closure. Oh, is this one of those situations where you can... What does it mean, redundant closure? Oh, this is one of these cases. Yeah. Where the argument is only one thing and you've got one thing. It's weird doing that. But okay, we'll do it. I'm not used to writing that like that. It's weird. Maybe it's too many years of like doing closures in other languages which don't do that, or at least didn't when I used them. I don't know. It hurts my brain a little bit because I have to look at it and go, okay, so this gives us, this wants function which takes that. I mean, it's true. Dynamic new takes t, and the t is the same in both cases. Yeah. Sure. Okay, we'll go with it. So refactor for working placement for refactor duplicate code. Why is this changed? Oh yeah, that was just I'll keep that out of there for now. Hold on. Well, let's put the processing order back as it was. So basically we removed lots of duplicate code and we replaced it with a method, which is arguably better. I think it's better. Okay. All right. So I think we're at a good place to take a break for now. We've been going 2.25 hours now. Oh, dear. So I think the next thing to do, let's look at the GUI again. I know exactly what the next thing to do is. The next thing to do is to put the placements where it says placements here. How does it, what, is it just me, or is GUI programming quite possibly the slowest bit of programming known to mankind? What other things can you write on a computer that takes this much effort to say placements here? Why does it take 2.25 hours to get that far? It's just, why? How? How? It hurts my brain. Computer programming. What's that saying about computer programming? It's like the teach a man to fish one or something. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for life, right? And how does the computer one go? Computer program one go? It goes, teach a man to program him. Oh. Teach a man to that was it. Teach a man to use a computer, frustrating for a day. Teach a man to program a computer, frustrating for a lifetime. That's how it goes. It's a great one, that is. It's. I found this on the internet. Someone sent me this. It's not XKCD. I think it's something else, but it's very true. Yeah. Yeah. A lifetime. Who knows? Anyway, just remember, folks, it's only software. How hard can it be? We'll find out on the next one. See ya.